Hey everyone, so some of you guys have asked me for kind of a day in the life video of how we do school every day. This is our 5th week of school. We're still ironing out some of the kinks. My oldest daughter is doing a community college class downtown, so twice a week we actually go downtown and drop her off at her class, which is it's just one class, so we stay at a coffee shop nearby, and then when she gets out we come on home. That saves us traveling back and forth. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are a little bit different on our schedule. I've been very impressed with our kids working ahead for those days so that they don't get behind, and being really diligent at the coffee shop has worked really well. So those days are a little bit different. On Wednesdays we have piano lessons, and that's the day I filmed this. And so in the morning, every morning my kids will go back and do piano one at a time, and then one child will do that, one child will do typing. My 2-year-old wants to be in the video. And so but on Wednesdays starting at 11, the piano teacher comes to us, and so they do piano lessons with her, and then a neighbor girl comes down in the afternoon and does piano lessons here too. That's a recent thing. So anyway, some of that might be in this video. We also had one of our employees stopped by to help fix something on our work trailer, and his little 3-year-old was with us, so you can hear her playing the piano at one point too. So it was just kind of a busy hopping day, but that's kind of what happens sometimes in life. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this. This starts out with us doing our scripture memory. I have the kids memorize 2 verses every week, and at the bottom of your star chart you'll see a spot that has for scripture memory. If you see those in the paces, you see they get a sticker every 3 weeks. And I think that's how ACE does it, where you memorize, what is that, like 6 verses a month or something like that. The school I went to actually did 2 verses a week, and it just seemed to really stick in our memory, and it seemed like a good way to do it. So that's how I do it. They memorize 2 verses every week, and then they say from the beginning of the quarter. So right now we're at week 5, so they're saying 10 verses, except for my 3rd grader is doing 1 verse a week. So anyway, that's what we're doing, and I'm going to show you guys how we start out our day with saying our scripture verses.
We have heard and declare to you, God, there is no darkness at all. If we claim to have fellowship with Him and yet walk in.
Okay, so this is us as we're working. Here's a couple things I want to point out. I made these little bags to hold the kids' schoolwork. We do Saxon math, so we have a bigger math. For that, they have their star chart. Where's your gold card, buddy?
Up there.
Oh, okay. And their gold cards that they set, and their flag. Ryan, can you show us how you put your flag up when you have a question? Okay, so it goes right up there, and I can see it from across the room, and ask him what he needs. He can say his rules. She is working on literature. So she has E level, which I'll explain that in a video at some point, but that lets her get out of her seat without permission to go score and go blow her nose or take a bathroom break. There's more work going on. Okay, Alea, you may score. So here's our scoring station. We keep all of the score keys for every pace we have in this bottom section. The back part keeps just all of the social studies, all of the science, and the front part we keep what they're using currently. So when they test out of 1123, we'll file it back with the English and pull out the new one. And then this top drawer, this is just an old filing cabinet. Top drawer kind of ends up being a miscellaneous drawer, but it's ideally to hold the pins. And so my husband just put a wooden top on here, and that helped create a surface for them to score on. So this is kind of what we look like during the day. In the morning, they go back. Everybody that takes piano will go back one at a time and go to piano lessons, and some other person will do typing. And Ryan, you may score. And that's how we kind of get through our mornings, just like that. Here is a picture of the kids setting their goals. We use the goal card system and it works really, really well for us. Meanwhile, this is my homework assignment. I have a whole bunch of paces that I need to score that the kids have already checked the work and I put it in my score box. So that's what I do during the morning. I do use one of these cool pins that I think I got at Staples. It comes in different colors. I use the green mostly, and it works really well for me, for the kids. And I put a check mark. I have a video out about how I score the kids' work, and I put a check mark at the bottom if it's complete. If there's an error on it, I put a check mark and a line through it, and then the kids have to go back and find the mistake themselves. When the kids have a test to take, they bring me their testing folder, which has their PACE test in it and the score key answers, and they hand that to me. They say the verse. I'll show you one of them saying the verse here in a minute. And I just take this, and after they say their verse, I give them the test. I keep the folder, and they bring it back to me when they're done, and then I can score it, and that has everything I need to record it in there as well. So that I do have a video out about how I record the testing folders, and that might be helpful for some of you guys right now.
Highly and love for their work's sake, first, and to be at peace among yourselves. 1 Thessalonians 5:13. Thank you.
So when my kids finish a test, they usually have their test in here. And then I keep all of the scores for this grade, all of the score keys for the test grade right here in this folder. So it's Social Studies 1052. So they just put it in my score pile, and then when I go through, I go ahead and score it like this, and then I put the grade back here with their grades, record it on paper, and then I also have a spreadsheet that I record it. And this year, for the first time, I'm actually scanning these all in on my iPhone and putting them on a Google account so that I have records of these in paper copy, which hopefully is going to allow me to not have to keep all the copies, although I'll probably still keep their high school work. And right now, this little guy is typing, and we have piano lessons going while the rest of the kids do school, or piano practice going. Here's a picture of one of my younger kids doing Spelling City. If you don't know about Spelling City and you use word building, this is phenomenal. Different places from different schools from around the world, I guess, have inputted the word building spelling test into this site that you can use for free. You can pay and use it. I just use the free part of it, and that it's just phenomenal. Instead of me sitting there trying to give 6 spelling tests at various times, this will give the words and they type it in. So this was actually her first time ever to take the test on the computer. I usually just give them to her, but she was so excited, and it even does have some in the free spot. It has some games and stuff where she could practice it. So we had her practice the one she had struggled with on the checkup, and then she did pretty well even typing on the self-test. So we'll see tomorrow when she takes the PACE test how well she does, because she's really excited about doing it online. An effort to be real on what a day in the life really is. Here's her lunch. We had nachos for lunch, kind of a Mod Podge of what was in the fridge. And then I remembered I needed to start a roast. So I started cutting up all the vegetables for the roast and getting that ready while the meat seared. And then I had the younger kids were helping me peel some potatoes, and they were being very helpful with potatoes and carrots. My son right now is telling me that it's too hard to peel the potatoes, so I'm about to give him a carrot and let him try it working on that. He's 2, so it was a little bit hard. Here they are peeling away, working as hard as they can. So what I did is I just prepped the roast and cut up all the veggies for it, and then put it all in my Instapot and cooked it as a slow cooker I actually pressure cooked the meat and then went ahead and put the veggies in and just slow cooked it. Also, why I'm doing that, a lot of times someone needs to say a rule or something, they sometimes work through lunch, so that's what I'm doing here.
Part of the boundary work, forms part of the boundary of line of the United States and Canada.
Yeah, Mom. Thank you. Vulture.
Vulture is a large bird that eats the flesh of dead animals.
Also, if you haven't noticed, I am 9 months pregnant. We're expecting number 8 at any point. So that is why my stomach is so close to all the food I'm cooking, is because we're just at the very end of this pregnancy. The kids actually asked me, are you going to tell them you're pregnant? I said, well, I think they're going to know. But for anybody that was wondering, yes, that's number 8 in there. You're just pilling it right now, buddy. I don't always meal prep at lunchtime. Sometimes I actually lay down. But today I really wanted to get this roast out of the fridge that had been thawing. So it was a perfect time to meal prep at lunchtime during piano lessons and everything else that was going on. And so each day can be a little bit different. Sometimes I decide right at the end of the day what we're going to eat. Here's us eating our lunch. I let the kids serve themselves. We had some green beans beeping in the microwave that they added to this. Not the healthiest meal, but they really enjoyed it. So they should be good and hungry for the roast this afternoon. Meanwhile, here is my daughter doing piano lessons. I snuck in there and videoed her. And our piano teacher actually comes to us, which is phenomenal, because I don't have to load all the kids up to the car and wait in a parking lot or a park or something. If you can find a piano teacher that comes to you, I would highly recommend it. It just saves so much in and out through the door if they can come to you. Of course, I'm talking about having a lot of kids, so that makes a big difference. So this is me after lunch trying to get caught up on scoring. Obviously, I have a lot to do. It's 6 against 1. And even though they score it beforehand, I still try to check everything. So I'm answering questions and scoring all at the same time. I usually try to take kind of a smaller chunk. Here's my cool pen that I like, making sure I have it on green ink right there. And anyway, then I just score and answer questions, and this is how I kind of pass my day. So by 3 o'clock, usually my back is pretty tired, and sometimes I lay down and score, but that will be a lot easier once this baby gets here. Sure, everybody's kind of tired of me being a broken record here on how important letting your kids score your work is, but it really is. I feel like that's a huge benefit of ACE, is letting the kids score their own work and then coming through afterwards and checking it, because they can score their own work and that's really great, but if they're not doing it right, they're just learning bad habits. So that's why I'm so willing to spend my days double checking their work, is to just make sure we keep that high standard. Hey, here's my 6-year-old. She is I had to ask her how old she is because she's growing up so much. She's almost 7. So anyway, just to conclude this, I don't know if I did a good job on this video or not. Please bear with me. But this is kind of a rough draft of our day. We finish at 3:15. If they don't finish, they get one of these, which is a homework slip. And they have to have Daddy sign that. And so he has to come in and sign it, and he makes a really big deal out of, no, I don't want to sign it. Oh, why didn't you get done? And ask them to give him reasons. And is it fun to have Daddy sign the homework slip?
Well, it's not fun not getting done at school.
That's true. So it makes it a really intense moment where they dread having Dad sign it, and then it kind of becomes a teasing thing. So anyway, he doesn't like homework, and he knows they have plenty of time during the day to get it done, so they really try to push at the end of the day. So 3:15, we stop doing schoolwork and we start doing our chores. What's your chore?
Taking out the trash and
Yes.
vacuuming my room.
So she takes out all the trash in the house and works hard on that, and vacuums her room, and then she can go back and finish whatever school she didn't have done for the day. So that's kind of how we wrap up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope it was at least interesting to you guys. We'll see. Someday we'll be watching this and be commenting on how little the kids were. So this will be really interesting.